it's okay to be different, and it's okay that we need a little extra help.
And that's the driving philosophy of an initiative aimed at helping challenging students. It's less about punishing bad behavior and more about addressing individual behavior that gets in the way of learning.
A local elementary school is trying this approach. Disruptive students are no longer automatically sent to the principal's office. Now they get a moment to pause to better find their path to academic success.
Right, and I do see some friends whose name tags look a little crazy. Can we make sure we push them to the edge like we practiced?
Practice doesn't make perfect at Springview. In fact, being imperfect is part of a much bigger lesson plan.
If you could push yours up to the edge too.
Nobody wants to admit my child is a little different, because when we think of different, we've always had a negative spin on it in our community.
This Flushing Elementary School's hallways circle a community celebrating each student's individuality. The reason Chia Morgan insists on sending her child here.
The parents actually take advantage of the communication that the school has with them. It can definitely be something that's incorporated at home.
In the classrooms, the behavior supports start there.
Principal Shelly Umphrey is starting a new conversation about behavioral issues in the classroom.
They can't always have the words to describe what's going on inside of them.
Instead of disciplining a child for bad behavior, she's using positive behavior intervention support, or PBIS.
What's different, I think, is that in the past, a lot of times we punished behaviors instead of trying to understand, what's causing the behavior.
Umphrey says it's more important now than ever because teachers are reporting an uptick in anxiety and a lack of focus in their students. One of the more recent causes, months of virtual learning during the pandemic.
The overall thing that we do is we teach behavioral expectations, and we want kids to be engaged in instruction at all times. But if they do need a breakaway, we want that to, as much as possible, happen in the classroom.
Instead of traditional disciplinary methods like sending them out in the hall or to the principal's office, these children are given a moment to understand in a private classroom space why they're feeling the way they do.
What is this again?
Gloomy
Ryan?
Gail.
Understanding starts by identifying with a character that has a unique color, name, and feeling.
I'm Easy Uma. And what is
That one's Rattle.
Rattle Ryan?
They recognize these actual names and characters when they describe their feelings to you.
Yeah, kids they work really well. They understand characters and visuals.
Amy Pashik is a grant-funded support specialist working directly with roughly a dozen students.
The teachers will notice that there's a behavior with the child, so I'll go in and I'll observe and just talk to them a little bit and kind of get to know them, and then from there we can go to a plan of what works.
That plan providing them with coping strategies to pause the feelings getting in the way of their ability to learn.
They can just hold this up so that the teacher sees that they need to take a pause. With the pause break, they can either come down to my office and take a short break doing various activities, or they might just take a walk around the inside of the building, or they might do Let's Move, which is just a series of exercises to help them to calm back down. And you can spin it and you can pick what move you want to do.
Oh, it's in here?
And after a 5-minute reset away, it's time to hit play on getting back to learning.
Wow, good for you.
3, 2.
When we take a little break and just reset ourselves, then we can usually then walk back into the situation and we feel better.
There are times when we know it's beyond the scope of school.
Umphrey admits that not every behavioral issue can be erased in school, but she says parents shouldn't be afraid to get their child assessed by a medical professional.
Hugh, I see some friends who still have their math books out, so if you guys could please, and thank you, tuck those away inside of your desk.
Usually if kids are struggling at school, they're also struggling at home. And it can be hard for a parent to admit that, they can't figure this out.
There's a variety of reasons why parents are reluctant to treat their children. I think a lot of it is the unknown. They might not know what to expect or what the outcome is going to be for the child. Stigma, all those things play factors into it.
Factors Dr. David Harris says play into getting in the way of solving behavioral problems. Harris is a psychiatrist for New Oakland Family Centers. He provides individualized care at 15 different locations, including one in Genesee County. Harris says New Oakland takes a family approach to treatment, helping parents understand the needs of their child as soon as possible.
Treating children at an early age offers an opportunity to impact them greater, to eliminate issues that might come up later in life.
And that's exactly why Morgan says parents need to hit pause on any stigma ingrained in them about how to handle a child's mental health.
They can go back and think, my principal, my behavior specialist, my teacher, they supported me with the pause button. And so it's inside of them and it's in it to stop, think, pause. And then it may save them from some troublesome decisions.
And so then we say, okay, so what can Bloomingdale do to feel better? It's okay to be different, and it's okay that we need a little extra help, and all of us at some point need a little extra help with something, and so if we can get past that, that would be great.
On average, students at Springfield will use the pause button no more than 2 times a day. And New Oakland Family Centers tells me you don't need a referral to have your child assessed. You can stop by or call to discuss options.